my friends, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Sonia, and today I'm super excited to be bringing you a video that I have been trying to make for a while. I just needed a lot of time because I knew it was going to take a lot of time to get this done. So we are going to be making some paper mache bowls, two different types of bowls. One, I'm going to use a mold type of thing, and the other one, I'm going to mold an existing bowl that I have. And the type of paper mache that I'm going to be using is equal parts of water and glue to toilet paper. I went out and bought loads of toilet paper. I did only end up using 4 rolls altogether for the 2 projects, and I had a little bit left over. But this was very simple to do. Pretty much everything was on hand. I have a big jug of school glue from my daycare, so I was able to use that, and then water and obviously toilet paper. And I just bought the cheapest toilet paper at the supermarket. So you want to mix all of this together and to create almost like a clay type of consistency. And you don't want it to be too wet. If it's too wet, you might want to drain some of the water off. I also want to mention that today's video is in collaboration with one of my best friends here on YouTube as well as in real life. Sandra, she just lives a couple streets over from me. We used to live on the same street, and her channel is DIYs at the Schwarman's Nest. If you have not checked out Sandra's channel, make sure you do so. She is super talented and truly an inspiration to me when it comes to all things DIY. She is someone that I can always count on and figuring things out with me if I need an advice on DIYs or really anything else in life. So make sure you check her out. I will leave a link to her channel down below so you can check out this video as well as any other video that you might be interested in checking out. Make sure you check out her shorts as well because they are really, really good. So me and her were talking about how we wanted to try out some of these paper mache projects that you see all over the high-end stores, and they're quite pricey. You can even buy some off of Etsy, and but I just thought that I could definitely make this out myself for a lot cheaper. So here are some of my inspirations that I'm going to be trying to recreate. And like I said, I'm using toilet paper, glue, and water. I think Sandra might be using a different type of paper mache materials, so make sure you check out her channel. Like I said, her channel will be linked down below. That way you can get a couple different ideas on a couple different things you can use to create our projects. So for my paper mache, like I said, I'm using toilet paper and glue and water, and you just want to kind of get that clayish consistency. You want it to be wet, but not like dripping wet. The toilet paper does dissolve quite quickly, so you will be able to see how much of it you actually need. And keep mixing it until you reach that paste consistency. For my first project, I'm using this bowl to create a mold, and I'm going to add some clear cling wrap onto it, but I did have to use a little bit of tape just to keep it in place because I did find that it was moving for me a little bit too much. So I guess you could probably use parchment paper too, but I'm pretty sure you would have to tape that up as well. And this did give it a little bit of more of a smoother finish on the inside. I do want to mention that if you are planning on doing this project, give yourself at least week and a half for it to cure. Mine took about for this bowl, it took about a week. For the other one, because there were 2 steps to it, it took a week and a half, and I did end up having to put it in the oven to cure as well for about 40 minutes while it was running at 200 degrees, and then I let it just sit in it until it was until I was ready to use it. I turned off the oven, so it sat in a warm oven for a couple hours. Now, when I'm creating this bowl, I wanted one side to be a little bit longer or taller, and the other side to be a little bit shallower. So that's why you have two different sides. And you can, don't worry about being perfect on the edges, because you can always cut them down, sand them down a little bit to the size that you need it, or to have it as clean cut as you want it. So here is what mine look like, all finished, and you just want to cover all the spots so you don't have any holes. And now it's time to dry. So while that's drying, I'm going to be working on this bowl. I've had this bowl for a very long time. It kind of got damaged over the years, so I'm just giving it a good cleanup, and I'm going to cover it up with the paper mache. I'm not creating a mold, so I don't need to put any cling wrap onto it. I'm just going to start adding paper mache, spreading it out, and making sure that, especially on the inside, all the areas are covered. You kind of want to make sure all the there's no holes in it, whether it's on the inside or the outside. And if you want to smooth it out a little bit more, you can always wet your hands and go over it with a wet hand more. I was okay with having it look a little rougher because I was adding some antiquing wax to it, so I wanted to bring out the roughness out a little bit more with the antiquing wax. I did work on the inside and the top first, then I let that dry, and like I said, it took I waited for about a week and a day, and it was still a little wet on the inside, but I was able to flip it over because the top was dry, and then I worked on the bottom part of it, and that took a couple days. There was just a small amount of stuff that I had to add, and it took, like I said, 3 days in, it was still wet, so I did end up putting it into the oven at 200 degrees, and I let it cure for about 40 minutes, and then I turned the oven off and just left it in there for a couple hours until I was ready to add some antiquing wax to it. So this is what the other side looks like, and I'm working on covering that up. And I also have a couple spots left that need to be covered up as well, because it was kind of hard to flip it over without damaging the parts that I had covered before it got dry. So I'm just going to cover those up now. And I'm not going to lie, this DIY was very, very relaxing to me to make. I quite enjoyed just molding it and working smoothing out all the areas. And it's just, I found it very, very relaxing. And here it is all done, and now I'm going to let that cure for a couple days. And while that's curing, this one had cured and it's dry, so I'm just going to cut off some of the parts that are kind of sticking out. I still want to keep the roughness on it. You can even smooth it out by sanding it a little bit if you want a more of a smoother look. I'm going to add some paint, very watered down paint, because my paint was dry. So I just added some water to it to loosen it up, and it's just a light beige color. This part can be up to you how you want to paint it, or even add some wax to it. Really, you can go gray, make it look more a little bit like concrete. Totally up to you. I'm going to go with more of a antique look by adding, like I said, some of this beige, and then I'm going to go in with a little bit of dark wax just to add a little bit of character to it. So I was trying to cover up as much of that white because I really didn't want too much of it showing. So I did use, as you saw, a brush as well as a sponge just to blend everything in and get into all the little crevices. I am so happy with the way this piece turned out. It's so unique and one of a kind, and I can't wait to use it in my decor. I think it's gonna look really good with some little fillers in there, maybe a little bit of potpourri, or even a nice candle to sit on it as a base or a cover for the candle, as a tray, I guess. For the bowl, I have decided just to use the wax, the Annie Sloan dark wax or antiquing wax, and I did go with a brush first, and then I do move on to the sponge as well, and I am applying lots at the beginning and then just trying to spread that all out. And then I'm going to go with a sponge and just accent a little areas where there's like a clumping of the paper mache, just to make that pop out a little bit more. I did end up using this wider brush. I just think it made the job go a little bit faster. And I think the Bristol brush, a little chippy brush, would work well as well. So the inside is almost done, a little bit more blending, and now I'm going to do the outside. really do love the way this was shaping out. And like I said, you can do this any way you want. You can leave it just white. You can paint it one solid color. You can use a couple different colors and blend to make it more like a concrete look. The world is your oyster how you want this to turn out. I went with more of this look because it kind of goes well with my current decor. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed these quick and easy paper mache DIYs. Make sure you check out Sandras' channel because she will have even more to share with you, so that way you can get tons of inspiration for your next DIY project. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please, I would love it if you consider subscribing, becoming part of my YouTube family. I share tons of high-end dupes here, as well as furniture makeovers and some Dollar Tree DIYs, so I hope you find something that you enjoy. And here is how this looks, and I think I'm going to keep it on my coffee table in my family room. I'm not sure if I'm going to add anything to it because I just love it as it is. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. And again, don't forget to check out Sandras' channel, and I will see you all in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all so much.